Hello and welcome to Beyond the Boundary. आप देख रहे हैं TUI Sports and there is so much to unpack today. कल जो हुआ first T20 में India and England at Kolkata, and of course today was the big Ranji round where you had so many international stars returning to domestic cricket. तो आज बहुत सारी बातें हैं करने के लिए. How that went, obviously for our stars, and of course we'll also discuss the first T20. क्या implications हैं in terms of how India batted, how India bowled. I thought they did really well. England were really outclassed, outplayed. और किसी ने शायद ये एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था फॉर द फर्स्ट T20. एवरीबॉडी इज एक्सपेक्टिंग बिग स्कोर्स एंड ऑल. तो ये सारी बातें हम डिस्कस करेंगे हमारे पैनलिस्ट के साथ. We have Nitin Nayak, Dopayan Datta, and Saurabh Samani joining us today on Beyond the Boundary with me, Chetan Narula. So welcome everyone, and let's get
Hi.
started. Nitin, let's get started with you first, of course. पहले क्या डिस्कस करें, रणजी और T20?
Whatever, your call.
Okay, let's start with the Ranji Trophy first. It's been a big day. इतनी बात हुई. There was so much build up in terms of the stars returning to Ranji cricket. इतने news आए. अभी विराट कोहली हैं, वो नहीं आए हैं. He's yet to come back in terms of the next round, of course. Uh, but it's just not worked out really well for our stars. आप यशस्वी जायसवाल की बात करो, आप रोहित शर्मा की बात करो, आप शुभमन गिल की बात करो, आप ऋषभ पंत की बात करो, all across the spectrum, जो हमारे टेस्ट 11 के stars, they came out, it did not work out for them. Nitin, let's start with you. Your thoughts with Mumbai versus JNK, Yashasvi and Rohit Sharma failing at the top of the order. I mean, look at the entire lineup. You have to go all the way down to Shardul Thakur and Tanush Kotian to really find a big partnership. Mumbai 120 all out. और मैं ये बात भी कहना चाहूंगा कि across the spectrum we saw some low scores, some really bad scores. Look at what Punjab did. But the spotlight was on the international stars, what they might do. That really has come proper.
Yeah, I mean, I was after a long time. I tuned in early for a Ranji match. I
Yeah.
switched on my OTT platform to watch right from the toss. In fact,
Mm.
I watched. I was a bit shocked at Ajinkya Rahane's decision to bat first because the wicket looked a bit green.
Okay.
And also, I think that he was compelled to do that because he chose to field three spinners in the 11. Um, Maybe he was expecting the wicket to break up very soon. Maybe it might. He may be having the last laugh come day four. But I was really disappointed by the shot that Rohit Sharma played. I mean, this is the third time this season that he's got out playing that one. Matt Henry in Mumbai, Patrick Cummins in Melbourne, and now in this Ranji match. The frequency with which he is getting opened up um, is very concerning for
Yeah.
me. It just shows that चेतन उसका कैसा हो रहा है एक 5-6 बॉल आप उसको क्वाइट रखोगे ना देन he gets a bit edgy which was not there when he was getting those big runs in England. He was willing to bide his time, but now I think even 6 or 7 dots at him
Hmm.
successively, I think he gets that edgy. And as I said, the amount of times that he gets out while getting opened up, it's not good for an opening batsman.
What happens is जब एक प्लेयर के रिफ्लेक्सेस चले जाते हैं या फिर जो मोटर स्किल्स होते हैं वो थोड़े स्लो डाउन हो जाते हैं in terms of your hand eye coordination specifically. You know, you tend to get out more and more in one manner. और
Yeah.
ये चीज हमें रोहित के डिसमिसल्स में देखने को मिली है from the Bangladesh and the New Zealand series onwards, where he has really struggled against pace. And I'm not even talking about high quality pace. Yes, Tim Saudi and the Australian bowlers, they are really high quality, etc., etc. But even from the Bangladesh series, he was really not on the money in terms of the way he was getting in shape early on against the early movement. So for me, I mean, I'll be honest. I did not watch it. I was doing, I was doing the Khelo India Winter Games. But at the same time, when I look back at और ज़्यादा इतने ज़्यादा कुछ देखने को बचा भी नहीं था. You look back at the highlights, the way
Yeah.
wickets fall, some of the deliveries he's faced, it was really not very comfortable for Rohit Sharma. Dopayan, your thoughts on this? Rohit Sharma, the big talking point, the way he's gotten out, the way he's not getting into position. Again, the way he got out, just shot to out way. It reminded me of a shot he played in Australia as well. I'm forgetting which test match that shot was. Was it in Melbourne or was it in Adelaide when he
Melbourne.
just checked his pull? Yes, Melbourne, where he just checked his pull and the ball lobbed up in the air. That's very unlike Rohit Sharma. He's not getting into positions. That's what we have seen early on in the season. Your thoughts?
Yes, the that one, and also against New Zealand, as Nitin had pointed out in the second innings against Matt Henry when India were chasing. Terrible shot. He's not getting into position, and my worry is now Test cricket, red ball cricket is done for now. Now the white ball season starts, but this delivery will keep coming to him even in white ball cricket. All the
Mm,
talk about him being in great form, etc., 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 but how does
mm,
he sort this thing out if his basic his this is his bread and butter shot, that pull shot, like if this is not working, I do not know what magic trick will happen, how things will drastically turn around in white ball cricket, and he will start getting those massive starts that we are hoping for. Rohit Sharma is going to open in each and every innings of this in England ODIs and the Champions Trophy. And the way he got out today, I am very scared. The
yeah.
signs are not very good.
Yeah, and you talk about the fact that it is his favorite shot, it is his go-to shot. मतलब एक there were some certainties in cricket, और उसमें से एक certainty ये थी कि अगर short ball कराओगे आप रोहित शर्मा को, he's going to pull it, and he's going to pull it and he's going to attack you for a six. ठीक है, he's going to take on the fielder. There have been times early on in his career where it's gone to hand, it hasn't worked out, but ये certainty थी कि that he is going to go for that pull shot. Now the certainty is that he's not getting into position. He's late, as Nimish is saying. Now Rohit is getting not 1.5 second. ये 1 second तो बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है. It happens in microseconds, but even the microsecond is a big deal. In his primes, he always had that extra amount of time that anybody in the game. Clearly, reflexes gone. Need to retire than become a joke in tests. Okay, I respect your opinion there. Look, जहाँ पे एक बात इन्होंने कही है कि he always had that extra time, Saurabh. I think uh, Rohit Sharma, to my personal opinion was one of the easiest six hitters in the game, right? अब चलो आज का जो मैच है वो रेड बॉल फॉर्मेट है एंड इट डजंट रियली होल्ड दैट मच वैल्यू because the next red ball game is in June for India. Uh, whether Rohit Sharma will be in international cricket by then or not, that's also up in the air. But the point here is कि the confidence has completely taken a shellacking here. जब आप एक ही तरीके से आउट हो रहे हो, let's talk about this. क्या मकसद था ये मैच खेलने का? If you are Rohit Sharma, if you put yourself in Rohit Sharma's shoes, the next test match is in June, and I would also like Nitin and Dopain to comment on this. First, I'll come to Saurabh. आपका क्या मकसद था ये मुकाबला खेलने का कि आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा यू गोना स्पेंड सम टाइम एट द विकेट, यू गेट सम कॉन्फिडेंस गोइंग. अगर वो 30-40 भी बना लेते, यू हैव दैट. ठीक है, बनाए ना, कुछ तो रन बनाए आपने, बिकॉज नाउ इट्स वाइट बॉल क्रिकेट, सो यू गेट some sort of confidence going. None of that has worked, and it has instead left all of us wondering कि क्या रिफ्लेक्सेस चले गए हैं, क्या वो जो उनके पेट शॉट है वो भी नहीं खेल पाएंगे, क्या वाइट बॉल में क्या होगा. एज दोपायन सेड, who is to say the Pakistan, Bangladesh and New Zealand bowlers, or in fact the England bowlers in the ODI series are not going to target Rohit now?
Yeah, I mean, मकसद क्या था is I think checkbox exercise tha maqsad. I think if this whole thing hadn't happened, these guys have to play domestic cricket and all, you wouldn't have probably seen any of these guys playing. Rohit, yeah, Shubman, yeah, Pant, yeah, Gill. I don't know how many. Maximum one of them might have played, or even none, because, like you said, the next red ball series is several months away. So it's not as if you are playing to get in shape, in tune for that. You have an important white ball tournament coming up. So Maksad wise, I think it was just that, yeah, now the diktat has come, so everybody play. And the I mean, in a way, the good thing is that I think a lot of us were also maybe deluding ourselves into thinking that test match form alag tha. He will come back to white ball cricket and be the Rohit Sharma we know, and
Hmm.
that we have admired for so many years, who has been a world beater for so many years. But uh, again, it is still a red ball format. But if you are getting out like that, you're flapping a pull shot at domestic level bowlers. It really dents not just his own confidence. I don't know what it does to those who are supposed to play with him or play under him. Like if you see your captain being so vulnerable, it's not good, right? It puts doubts in everybody's minds and about whether he still has it or not. The only way to shut this up is to go and get a big score. That is the only way.
That
And
seems like, yeah, that seems like quite a bit of distance away. I mean, if he can get to
yeah,
double figures at this point, that's going to be an accomplishment. Nitin, your thoughts? What was this exercise about from a Rohit Sharma perspective? Just from a Rohit Sharma perspective, forget Jaiswal, he got runs in Australia and all. He also has another opportunity to play on and on and on. But forget the others. From a Rohit Sharma perspective, what was this exercise all about? And clearly, it hasn't worked.
No, I agree with Saurabh. I think it's about checking, putting some ticks on his checklist. I think as you age, that rhythm kind of goes away of playing, and I think that's why. I mean, what I liked about Tendulkar was he took very few breaks when he wanted to regain a rhythm. He took,
Hmm.
unless the series was decided or something, he used to play almost everything, and
Hmm.
then only take a few days off or take a few weeks off. But and it continued right till the end. I mean, even in his last year of international cricket, he chose to play in Lali in difficult conditions, and so that rhythm always was there. So as you age, as Dwaipayan and Saurabh rightly pointed out, that the reflexes have kind of are gone. So I think his intention was to spend some time in the middle, but obviously I
Hmm.
think he expected a better wicket. I think
Hmm.
that pitch at the BKC, I think, was very seam friendly. Obviously, he didn't help his cause by going for the shot that he eventually did. Even I think he faced what I think 19 deliveries today. Even in the way he defended Chetan, he was looking very jumpy at the crease.
Yeah.
Normally when he defends, his defense is like very calm. But even in those 19 balls, the few balls that he defended, he looked very jumpy. So I think
Hmm.
he's being a little rushed there, which shows that father
Yeah.
time maybe is taking its toll, because there's no
Yeah.
gym for the eyes, right? There's no
Yeah.
gym for the eyes. Once the eyes
Yes.
go, they go. So
Um, Dopayan, you were the first one to say कि he was scared for his ODI form as well. Uh, how do you see this progressing? Because look, let's be very honest about it. अब आप Champions Trophy जीते and you already have Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill. We'll come to them. Okay, they also failed today, but that's not the biggest failure for them. Was not that they failed today. You get my drift from a Champions Trophy perspective, because even before we land in UAE for the Champions Trophy, अगर आप कल का T20 देखो, England played four fast bowlers and they attacked India's top order with back of leg deliveries, short deliveries. They tried to attack us with pace. It did not work yesterday, but who's to say कि ODI जो series आएगी उसमें रोहित शर्मा के ऊपर ये क्वेश्चन मार्क फिर से नहीं आ जाएगा.
As far as I'm concerned, for the players who are part of the Champions Trophy squad, there was no need for them to play this round of Ranji Trophy. This is absolute optics, and you have to show the world that BCCI has given a diktat and it has to be followed. There was no reason. There is a need for rest. I completely agree with what the players say. There is a need to recharge batteries, come back fresh for the one days, and play with a clean slate. This playing this red ball match. What if Yashasvi Jaiswal gets has an injury, unnecessary injury, and he misses? Like there was absolutely no need. First things first, and secondly, yes, as I said, it is a matter of grave concern. Like what, um, uh, if at all, Rohit Sharma should have gone back to white ball practice, train wherever he wants. It is comfortable with the bowlers that he wants, with the bowling machine, with the practice bowlers, with the slingers, whoever is available at his beck and call. Mumbai Indians would surely have availed quite a few things for him. So basic thing is getting it right for India. This optics does not make sense. Get it. This was a futile exercise, and it has failed once again, and it's probably going to fail again. And this idea of being a difficult wicket, if you are going to play red ball cricket in England, most probably England will also dish out such pitches. Atkinson will bowl that length, and you will, and so there is no point playing on a easy batting friendly pitch also. But I really don't know where it is going for Rohit Sharma at the moment. Everything is going wrong. Every step that he is taking is wrong. From his
Mm.
attitude in the press conference to what he said behind the mic, etc., etc., etc. Something is seriously wrong with the boy.
Okay, Crick and Chip says suddenly the England ODI has become so important. Would be looking at some of the batters closely. Yes, अगर आप कल देखो जिस तरीके से इंग्लैंड के फास्ट बॉलर्स ने अटैक किया हमारे इंडियन टॉप ऑर्डर को, वो तो संजू सैमसन gave them a start. It was not that big a total, and Abhishek Sharma obviously. We'll talk about the first T20 in just a bit. But yeah, they did attack. Look at Jofra Archer, the way he bowled, his back of leg deliveries rising really high, or look at Mark Wood, the kind of pace he generated. So एक game plan था, वो कल वर्क नहीं किया, but in the ODI arena again, if it works again, it's the ODI series is going to be about building up to the Champions Trophy, so it's going to be well, it's going to be really important. Chandresh Narayan also joins us. Let's also take a look at some of the other scores. Yashasvi Jaiswal, we talked about a failure for him. Is there much to read there? I mean, he's been told to report to the Mumbai team. कि बॉस आप खेल सकते हो तो आप खेलो, लेकिन our panelists have been of the view, what if an injury happens to somebody like a Yashasvi Jaiswal? Was there a need to play this particular round? So it's a tough one to balance, isn't it? I mean, एक तरफ हम लोग demand कर रहे हैं कि yes, when I say I'm talking about, you know, everybody who feels that they have something to do with Indian cricket. I think everybody feels that way, right? So we are demanding on one way कि Ranji Trophy खेलो, and now that there are two rounds remaining, we're also discussing the fact, what if somebody like a Yashasvi Jaiswal gets injured? So where is the balance? Where do you find the balance, and how do you find the balance? Chandresh, let's start with you.
It's difficult to find the balance. I think ideally, what they should have done at the start of the season was to made them play the Dulip Trophy, which they obviously didn't play, and that's where the rot set in. They allowed some people to be exception to the rule. Obviously, Virat, Rohit, Ravindra Jadeja, and Siraj didn't play that first the Dulip Trophy at the start of the season, and they moved the tournament from the interiors of Karnataka to Bangalore to accommodate these superstars. Uh, and the fact that they didn't they were not strict enough and they were very lenient at the start of the season has come back to haunt them. And now they want to be seen as enforcing the rule. And like Doepan said, it's now a question of some egos that need to be satisfied. So you're making them play, and you're further ensuring that they are not in the best of form, because now they get into the one day series without a proper hit, and with their confidence further dented by lesser bowlers in the Ranji Trophy tournament. And it's all a mess. I think it's a complete mess, completely mismanaged, and it's just a few egos that need to be that have led to this mess that Indian cricket is in right now. Not the T20 team, but the team for the other two formats. Let's hope some sense prevails, and we get some good performances in the Champions Trophy. Else, we'll be left to doing the same post mortem after the Champions Trophy, pointing fingers at each other, and we'll be back to square one when when the IPL is about to start.
Okay, Sagnik says technical flaw or mental blockage. What's exactly happening? And I'm assuming आपका जो comment है ये पहले भी आया था when we were talking about Rohit Sharma. So it's about Rohit Sharma. Just to answer your question here, the consensus from the panel is कि it's not. It may be a little bit of mental blockage. आप इतने टाइम से अगर रन नहीं बना रहे हो तो एक mental blockage आ जाती है. Technical flaw भी नहीं कह सकते क्यों? Because I think the general consensus here is that reflexes are slowing down. There's just no way he's getting into position, especially the way he's been struggling. जैसे आप देख लो हम बात कर रहे थे ना कि जो शॉर्ट शॉर्ट बॉल है उसको भी नहीं पुल कर पा रहे हैं. ही इज नॉट इन टू पोजिशन. रोहित शर्मा नॉट इन पोजिशन टू प्ले द शॉर्ट बॉल. That is a headline. That is a major headline. So it's it seems like purely the reflexes are slowing down in terms of the way he's not getting into position. So I hope that answers your question. Sports fan says our only out of form players were required to send back to domestic cricket, not the whole barrage. Nitin and Dopayan, this is an easy statement to make. लेकिन आप कैसे pick and choose करोगे कि कौन से out of form players हैं? Look at Yashasvi Jaiswal. He scored some runs, right? But he's not playing cricket at the moment. And you say, कि, okay, maybe you can rest or maybe you can't rest. But Shubman Gill, he's not scored any runs. So now you have to send Shubman Gill back. Lekin result dekho. The one who was scoring runs in Australia, he also hasn't scored today. The one who wasn't scoring runs in Australia, he hasn't scored today. So both Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill also not scoring runs today. How do we look at that? Lupine, let's start with you.
Obviously there is a case of fatigue, and there is a like, how do you push yourself for a game like this, which is largely, which has no context for them. See, these are at the end of the day big players, and they need a context. They need a reason as to why I have to score. I have to motivate myself to get the runs. This is a game which is very difficult to push yourself to do well. Cricket is for a batter. It's a game of one ball. And to be mentally there 100% after a grueling series like Australia and a Champions Trophy coming up, in between this game is sandwiched. Like I completely empathize with the players. I am quite certain that all the players who were part of the Champions Trophy team wouldn't have played this red ball game had that diktat not come. But that these diktats should also have some reasoning as to why I am doing it. I want them to play domestic cricket so that the red ball team is in the best shape when they are playing red ball cricket. That is the reason why they should be playing red ball, not for any other reason. So, uh,
एक
so
चीज
that
यहाँ पे
that that reason doesn't work here. So, I really do not like point a finger at any of these players who have failed today with the bat.
okay, Nitin, you know what Dopine says is in terms of the diktat, yes, you need that, and you need to send that diktat out to the players who actually need. In terms of red ball cricket, are we saying that to send that diktat to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli and say, boss, you have to play red ball cricket now at this stage when they should probably instead be concentrating on white ball cricket? Maybe the planning in for the future. Ki boss, we were thinking of the transition happening. Maybe Rohit Sharma stepping away from the test side for the England tour, whether Virat Kohli will go or not. Those conversations haven't really happened. ये भी क्या एक इंडिकेटर होता है कि बॉस आप उनको भेज रहे हो रेड बॉल खेलने के लिए? Maybe those conversations haven't happened.
Yeah, they haven't. The transition should have started ideally with the earlier coach. And what has happened now with Gambhir is, yes, there might have been a few friction points in the dressing room with regards to player choices or tactical decisions here and there, whether to bat first, bowl first, who to pick in the playing 11. But
Yeah,
also I think he's been saddled with a couple of his key players who are out of form, and the transition, how to move when we leave an organization, what generally happens, there is a handover process, right?
yeah.
When especially at senior or mid senior levels, there is a handover process from one employee to the other. But
Yeah.
here, I think the handover process has not really happened perfectly. I think had there been greater synergy and better planning. Also, I think since they already knew, since the BCCI knew that this is going to be the Champions Trophy year, what they should have done was they should not have had that gap in the red ball format, and they should
Yeah,
have ideally had the Vijay Hazare Trophy and the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy matches now. But what
yeah,
happened? Syed Mushtaq Ali, yes, we wanted to have when the IPL auctions were nearing by, because most of the players want to treat it like an audition. But here, at least in terms of the Vijay Hazare games, I thought that they could have put all the Vijay Hazare games together
yeah.
uh, before
Not
the
have this
Champions
break.
Trophy, so that
Yeah.
yeah, not have this
Or,
gap. So may because they knew the calendar in advance.
yeah, or because it's a common practice to have at least a Sayyid Mushtaq around the IPL auction, or just around that, or
Yeah,
before that, or after
yeah,
that,
yeah,
or at least
yeah,
a big time before, a big chunk of time before the IPL. But definitely
yeah.
the Vijay could have been pushed a little bit later, not have this break. Okay, Saurabh, let's talk about Shubman Gill. We talked about कि रोहित शर्मा कैसे जाएंगे, किस माइंडसेट से, या what was the really the point of playing this game. From a Shubman Gill perspective, there is also a point that now he's the vice captain. He needs runs. We all know, we all know the talent is there. There's no doubt about it. But let's also be honest, the returns aren't there. अगर हम पिछले सीजन की बात करें या पिछले एक डेढ़ साल की बात करें, the returns haven't been there. Second innings in a few test matches, he's redeemed himself, but you want more from a number three bat. Now he's going to be the vice captain. To me, making him the vice captain of the ODI side was saying or sending him a message, ki, boss, we are investing in you long term. This is the long rope that we are handing to you. But those runs need to come, and they need to come now.
Yeah, I think just that Border Gavaskar series also for Gill must have been really frustrating because it, in a lot of ways, he got himself out. Uh, and you don't want to be doing that when you're facing a high quality attack as it is. As it is, it's a tough thing, gig to be out there and score runs, and then you do slightly whatever brain fade type shots or decision making. It really, that's why these returns are not there.
Hmm.
But the argument that I think everyone else gave for this round, I think holds for Gill also. He does need runs, but does he need runs in red ball cricket right now? No, he probably needs more white ball practice. His white ball numbers, by the way, are out insane. Huh? Like he's averaging some 58 at a strike rate of over 100
Hmm.
in close to 50 ODIs. So it's not a large sample size, but to have these kind of numbers, obviously you can't drop the guy from the team. And I agree with you that his vice captaincy, in fact, went back in for the Sri Lanka ODIs itself when they handed him the vice captaincy. It was a sign that we are investing in you, like you are our guy for the future.
Yeah.
Uh, but if you have to return that investment, right? You have to repay that with runs. That has didn't happen in the test series. Now that has needs to happen in the ODIs. At least with Gill, we don't have the worries that we have with Rohit in terms of age catching up, eye going, reflexes
Yeah,
slowing down.
reflex. Yeah.
So you can be a little more optimistic about the fact that he will find runs again. The pitches are not going to be that spicy. It'll be white ball, not red ball. So I think that with Gill, I have more optimism.
Okay. Chandresh, your thoughts on Shubman Gill?
Obviously, he's a talent to watch out for in the ODI format. I think this is his best format, and the fact that he's failed will dent his confidence because he also failed in the test matches in Australia. Uh, but I think that he needs more game time. He missed two test matches in Australia, one due to injury, one due to not being able to find a place in the 11. And they were quite remorseful in the end about not being able to fit in Shubman Gill into the 11. I'm pretty certain that he is looking forward to the Champions Trophy and to the IPL to get back some form. But again, his form in the red ball cricket, especially away from Asia, is a major cause for concern because he's not had a major score in the last 4 years since that 91 he scored at Brisbane. But this particular round, uh, he needed to play some cricket. I'm not sure this was the ideal format that he needed to play now. He needs to play some red ball cricket before the Test series in England if he still stands a place in the squad that goes to England. With regards to the scheduling, also Chetan, I wanted to mention one thing, that last year it was Rahul Dravid, Ajit Agarkar, and VVS Lakshman who got together and suggested these changes to the schedule in the domestic tournaments to the BCCI, which was readily accepted by the BCCI. They suggested splitting the tournament in half because they wanted to avoid players missing out on the missing out from playing domestic cricket, because you had situations where players were complaining of injuries right before the IPL. They thought they could curb that by splitting the tournament into two and spacing it out a bit more, because the players also mentioned that the Ranji Trophy matches are coming thick and fast. I'm not sure that has helped in any way, because you still have players who have suddenly developed injuries right after Syed Mushtaq Ali and are going to be fit right in March, in the first week of March, right in time for we all know what. So they need to again probably go back to the drawing board and come back with a better domestic schedule. I don't know what it is, because the player auction is going to probably dictate how the scheduling is going to be held, and the player auction is
Hmm.
always going to be around November, October, November, December, that kind of a time. So that will dictate all the scheduling, and we are always going to have players coming up with injuries right after the auction and before the end of the domestic season in India. It's a catch-22 situation for Indian cricket. One, they need to find a solution, and this solution will come if you have a proper professional setup also in the BCCI, which is not the case. So you will never have, like Nitin said, a handover system. It will always be, because nobody is going to think long term. It is always be, my tenure is till now. I will only think till September, or I'll think till next tenure
Okay.
whenever it's going to end.
Okay. Before we move on, Nitin and Dwapayan, we had some other plays as well. यशस्वी जायसवाल की बारे में हमने बात की. Again, I think much like Shubman Gill, he probably needed to play another format, or maybe not even play. Yashasvi Jaiswal, to be honest. Rishabh Pant, not scoring runs for Delhi. Ravindra Jadeja picking 5 wickets for Saurashtra. I think अगर हम बात करें, even Shreyas Iyer didn't score many runs. He's going to be part of the ODI setup. Uh, Only Ravindra Jadeja comes back with some sort of confidence from this particular exercise. A word on Rishabh Pant, Dwapayan, and then a word on Jadeja, Nitin.
His Rishabh Pant's today, I haven't seen the innings. He scored one and got out to Dharmendra Singh Jadeja. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing, like I really don't know how he batted, because there was nothing to do. Like, he has scored one run, but probably like
No, no. What I mean to
one.
say is,
Yeah.
not on his knock. Obviously, it's just one run.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is, uh, like we're talking about Shubman Gill and Jaiswal, or the
Mm-hmm.
way we're talking about Rohit Sharma, which is obviously a very different issue.
Mm-hmm.
Is this relevant for Pant as well? He needed to play, and he needed those runs under his belt, but again, probably not the format that was the need of the hour.
I don't know, or like on day one, 15 wickets fell, and eight of the Delhi wickets went to left arm spinners. So I do not know what kind of a pitch that was. So
Mhm.
uh,
Very difficult
really,
to
like,
comment. Okay,
what do I
okay,
say about this thing? I
okay.
really, this round of Ranji Trophy has been immensely mismanaged. That is all
One point.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. From that perspective, let's talk about this maybe, that some of these matches are not being played at the traditional venues, right? Maybe I think apart from the Karnataka game, which is at Chinnaswamy, like Wankhede pe nahi ho raha hai, because you have the T20 coming up. There are other matches. I read a report somewhere that some of the matches have been moved because you need to save the pitches for the white ball games that are coming up ahead. That is also probably an issue, maybe, that अगर आप देखो पूरे across the spectrum, Nitin, we have seen some really low scores.
Yeah, I think the Rajasthan game was moved from the Savai Mansingh Stadium because they said that we want to prepare the pitches for the IPL. So,
Yeah.
so I think that also is a bit disturbing because you want your players to play in traditional
Mm.
centers. Um, Jadeja, I am a little happy with because his bowling form has been a bit iffy off late.
Mhm.
I've never seen him under pitch so much that he did when he was playing in Australia. I think he he generally very seldom he gets cut, and he got cut very often in Australia. So he was under pitching. So now I think that this stint will do him a world of good. Anyway, he's in terms of bowling, I think he's a notch above Akshar in 50 over cricket. Batting wise, I think Akshar I think holds sway over Jadeja, but I think they would go with Jadeja first. But this outing will do him a world of good, at least in the Champions Trophy that will happen.
Mm. Okay. Let's talk about. It's almost past 7 p.m. So let's also talk about. Okay, somebody saying let's talk about Virat Kohli and all. Okay, I think all eyes will be on Virat Kohli when he plays on 30th. There's no doubt about that. Let's not correlate with what's happened today with what might happen. Let's give a fair chance, and let's see what happens with Virat Kohli. Everybody will be keen. In fact, I'm actually thinking of going to the game and watch him play. In fact, and see what happens there. Um, there will be a lot of spotlight on Virat Kohli if and when he takes it to the ground on the 30th. Let's talk about the T20 then. Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Varun Chakravarti. Lots to unpack there. हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, and let's start with Chandresh. We were talking about how high scoring this could be, and explosive batting lineups. India absolutely blew England out of the park. Arshdeep Singh with those 2 wickets, then Varun Chakravarti with those wickets. I still think England's middle order. You talk about Harry Brook. Harry Brook, can he really play spin? Can he actually play spin? Harry Brook? I'm not sure. Chandresh, thoughts on yesterday's T20?
I think it was quite an anticlimax after all the build-up that we had to that T20 international. The way England's middle order batted against India's spin, especially Varun Chakravarti, I think they were shell shocked. And the way I think, especially Liam Livingston played against Varun Chakravarti, I was just shocked.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
what he was trying to do. He was just trying to. It usually used to be the case with Asian batsmen against fast bowling. And he was backing away and playing against a spin bowler. It's completely shocking. And but overall, quite a one-sided affair. Quite surprising that India went with that kind of 11, which means that Mohammad Shami is still not fully fit. Whatever way they might want to spin it, he's obviously still not fit, and they want to really wait till the very last minute before they pronounce fitness, because they don't want a situation where they're missing both Shami and Bumrah during the Champions Trophy. But overall, good all-round team performance by India, and it showed that the T20 setup is doing well. But India needs to keep a watch out for
Okay,
Suryakumar
we'll hear
Yadav's
back from
form.
Chandresh. Saurabh, let's get your thought. Get your thoughts. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, I can hear you, Chetan. So,
Am I audible?
yes, I can hear you.
Am I audible, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Saurabh, let's get your thoughts. Yeah, yeah, I can.
Yeah, I
Let's
was
get your
quite.
thoughts.
No, I was quite intrigued with the team combination they went because I think England played so badly. They couldn't take advantage of the possible vulnerabilities that India might have had. Like, for example, they bowled Arshdeep Singh for 3 overs in the power play. So, who would
Hmm.
have bowled at the death? 1 over of Arshdeep. Who else? They if they had stayed, if they had stuck around, they could have maybe taken advantage of that. And
Hmm.
what if India had lost the toss and three spinners bowling in dewy conditions in the
Yes.
second innings?
Hmm.
That was an intriguing thing, which of course it never came to pass because India won the toss and India bowled so well that England never got to the death overs. So that
Yeah.
worked out fine. The Mohammad Shami thing, like Chandresh was mentioning, I think was very something that needs to be kept an eye on now. Is it that Arshdeep is their number one choice bowler in T20 cricket when they want to pick only one pacer? No, I mean Bumrah apart, of course. So that's why they went with Ashdeep. Is Ashdeep higher in the pecking order, or is there a fitness problem still with Mohammad Shami? None of
Hmm.
that was actually told or clarified or even asked, whether at the
Hmm.
toss or at the post-match presentation. It was not asked of Surya Kumar Yadav. So obviously he doesn't need to say if it's not asked of him. But that was quite concerning in a way, because if it's a fitness thing, like you keep thinking, okay, this was supposed to be Mohammad Shami's comeback match. When will we actually see him back playing for India? Like, he has not played since the World Cup final. It's been more than a year since he has played for India, and obviously, Mohammad Shami in top form is something that no team can then leave out of an 11. So
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, we need
Okay.
to, yeah,
Yeah,
ponder
we
on
will
that.
talk about that. Yeah, I think we'll talk about that because ये एक थोड़ा surprising था in terms of the team selection when the team was picked. I was also surprised कि Mohammad Shami is not there. I saw him play in the Vijay Hazare while I was in Vadodara doing commentary there. So look, he was not looking like the Mohammad Shami of the past. जो last Mohammad Shami हमने देखा था World Cup में, fit and fine and really charging in. That is not the same Mohammad Shami. Of course, a year or so have passed since then. Um, if age troubles batters, it also troubles fast bowlers, right? Um, and also with Mohammad Shami, the rhythm has always been an issue. आप जितना ज़्यादा rhythm में आओगे, I thought he was a little. I mean, क्या कहेंगे undercooked in that sense because he's not getting to bowl as much as he would like to bowl perhaps. Um, but yeah, this was he would not have been picked for the Indian side अगर वो पूरी तरीके से fit नहीं होते. But he's been bowling a lot. He did bowl 10 overs there in Vadodara as well. So he is bowling fit. There's no doubt about that. Nitin, your thoughts? Was it a case of picking your best 11, going in with the combination that gives you the best chance? And Arshdeep, we know definitely he is their go-to bowler. Hardik Pandya, absolutely, he is in that playing 11. Nitish Reddy, the choice came between Nitish Reddy playing an extra spinner or playing Mohammad Shami, and you could only pick two, and they decided to prolong their batting. कि बॉस यहाँ पे ड्यू हो सकता है इफ वी लूज द टॉस, हो सकता है कि हमें 220 240 चेस करना पड़ सकता है, देन यू गोइंग टू नीड योर डेप्थ, बैटिंग डेप्थ. Was it more to do with that than anything else? Your thoughts?
No, I think there are still fitness concerns around Shami. We
Hmm.
saw him bowl. I mean, at least on TV. If you could pick anything from those warm up visuals that came up before play started, he bowled a few deliveries of a short run. Then he bowled I think 15 or 20 deliveries of his normal run, and he had both his legs heavily strapped.
Hmm.
And he was wearing shorts, and he wasn't doing it of his normal gear. Um, I think there are still fitness concerns around Shami, but I really hope and pray that they do not go with this combination again in the future games, because uh,
Hmm.
what happened is you had only Arshdeep Singh as your main pacer, and you didn't have
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah.
And Hardik Pandya, yes, he got wickets in the end, but then
He was
he
a tad
went for
expensive.
a,
Yeah.
yeah, he was that expensive. I don't think, you know for me the ideal combination would be three seamers and Hardik Pandya, or two seamers and Hardik Pandya, not one seamer and Hardik Pandya as your second seamer. He's
Hmm.
that's not a combination that should go with that they should go with, and I would rather have one more seam bowler here.
Okay, okay. But as we saw, he toss bhi jeet gaye, that went in our favor. And then Varun Chakravarti, Topayan, he's been a revelation. It's been a second coming for Varun Chakravarti. हम लोग बात कर रहे थे ना प्री सीरीज की कौन होगा बैटिंग लाइनअप में, कोई और हो ना हो, आई थिंक इस प्लेइंग 11 में व्हेन द 2026 T20 वर्ल्ड कप कम्स, वरुण चक्रवर्ती इज गोइंग टू बी देयर.
The one thing about Varun Chakravarti, I would say, is that like most teams do not pick him from the hand. That is one of the reasons why he is so successful in T20. Yesterday, if you see, Butler was reading him. Butler was reading him from the hand, and that's why he was going for some runs against Butler. But these days, the technique against spin has come down so much that
Yeah,
players do not read a basic googly from the
yeah,
hand.
yeah.
Which players of the earlier eras used to do it just like that. So that is one of the reasons why Varun Chakravarti has been extremely successful of late, because these slam bang hitters have no clue how to pick a bowler from the hand. To his credit,
Yeah,
he has worked on his bowling. He's bowling those sliders, etc. All those the varieties up his sleeve. He looks a good. He has worked on his bowling. That is all fine, but it is the poor technique of the opposition batters that is also getting exposed when Varun Chakravarti, a bowler like Varun Chakravarti, runs through opposition the way he did. And one thing I would like to say, Chetan, about these matches, that India should, these are basically a build up to T20 World Cup. So
mm,
India should look to add to the degree of difficulty as they play. So in a situation where there is due, I would prefer India batting first and making these spin
mm,
bowlers bowl in the due, so that
yeah.
if it so happens that if a World Cup T20 semi-final we are bowling second, our bowlers know how to bowl in the due. If you see the India South Africa series, South Africa bats very well when they bat first. They choosing kept on choosing to batting second in that series, and they lost the series. They could have chosen to bat first. So
India में
increase your degree of difficulty, make it more difficult for yourself to win these matches, because these wins no one will remember at the end of the day. All people will remember is that T20 semi-final and final, for which we should be ready, and our spinners should be bowling well in the due also. That is what I think is more important, because your toss is
I can tell
something
you
which
one.
is not
Yeah,
controlled.
I can tell you one person जिसके लिए series बहुत important है, and that is the coach. Obviously, he would want to win the series. He would like to be 3-0 up, and then say कि okay, last के जो दो T20s है ना, उसमें हम पहले batting कर लेंगे, and let our spinners bowl in the due. That could really happen. Let's talk about Abhishek Sharma. Saurabh, he is doing what is asked of him. I think there are two things to talk about here. One, like I said, he is doing everything that is being asked of him. और मैं ये इसलिए कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि we've been talking about the fact that this top order might change when the T20 World Cup comes. You would want to see a Yashasvi Jaiswal in there somewhere, if not somebody else. At least आप यशस्वी जायसवाल को देखना चाहोगे. But at the moment, Abhishek Sharma is doing everything that is being asked of him. He's multi-talented in terms that he can bowl as well, maybe a couple overs, etc., etc. Um, the other thing is that he's been given a diktat कि boss आप जाओ और बिंदास तोड़ो बस बॉलिंग को तोड़ के आना है सिंगल डबल तो लेना ही नहीं है you look at the way he was batting against Adil Rashid. The first three balls, I was like, what are you even doing? मतलब single भी ले सकते हो, double भी ले सकते हो, but नहीं. And then the next three balls, he smacks him for 16 runs. So the diktat is very clear, and I think that is something really good to see because India is in attack mode when it comes to the shortest format. That is a big departure, even from the T20 World Cup last year.
Huge departure, and I think Surya said it also after the game. At the presentation, he said we wanted to do things slightly differently from the T20 World Cup winning team, and
Mm.
I completely agree with that thought. I'm on board with that, or whatever is the terminology. We need to play in that fashion. India has the talent and the resources to put out a, a really killer T20 team, and I'm glad that they're moving in that direction. Uh, I think the way they play is the way T20 games will be won, unless you have extremely bowler friendly pitches, which are anyway the exception. They're not the norm in T20
Mm.
cricket. And I think Surya is so far at least the right guy to lead them, because Abhishek also said several times yesterday that the kind of freedom he has given me, the kind of backing he has given me helps me, play my shots. And Abhishek, like on another day, the first two, three shots that he didn't connect might edge and go, to hand.
Yeah, yeah,
The important thing is that the team tells him that कोई बात नहीं, मतलब तू एक दिन 7 of 3 बना के आ, एक दिन 0 of 2 बना के आ, doesn't matter. You
yeah.
are free to do that.
Like how it happened in Zimbabwe on debut, he was out for a
Yeah.
duck, and then the next
Hmm.
match he smashed 100. So yeah,
You know that he has the talent to do that, and you know that he's not even the finished product yet. He
Yeah.
can still develop. I was reading an interesting analysis. I'm forgetting by whom. Others I would have credited it on Twitter about how when he dances down the track, he doesn't always get to the pitch of the ball, but his eye is so good, his hands are so good, he still manages to hit it. Now, these are just small things, but if imagine
Yeah.
if he corrects that, then he'll have even fewer weaknesses, right? And he'll be an even better bat. And Yashasvi can definitely still be in the T20 team. I think maybe one of the openers might drop to number three. Samson
Mhm.
might be a good candidate for that, since he's such a great hitter of spin.
Uh-huh.
But uh, who to leave out? That is not a question. I'm thankful I don't have to take that call. Who to leave out?
Yeah, yeah. And I firmly believe that Samson might open for Rajasthan Royals this time with Yashasvi Jaiswal, and that could be the opening pairing that we see in the T20 World Cup. Uh, or Josh Butler, they did not go back for Josh Butler, Rajasthan Royals. So there's something there, Sanju Samson, because they're also a little more intent on Dhruv Jurel and Riyan Parag leading their middle order. Well, Sanju
Hmm.
Samson says they just want to be a little bit free, but that's a debate for another day. We'll finish the episode with this comment. And we'll go to Chandresh for this comment. Is our T20 setup doing so well due to the coach or certain seniors left the squad at the right time? How can we bring the same enthu to our ODI and test setup?
That's a difficult call. To For that, you need few of the seniors to decide on their future, which is not going to happen anytime soon. Because if they were keen to call it a day in the red ball format, they would not have played this round of Ranji Trophy or the next round of Ranji Trophy. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. We'll probably see some movement in the Test squad after the England tour, and in the ODI squad probably right after the Champions Trophy. But the biggest problem is that right after the Champions Trophy, you have the IPL. So everything will be forgotten for 2.5 months, because everybody will get simply straight into the IPL. You'll have a day or two of post mortem, and then finally every IPL team will start building towards the tournament. So everything is forgotten. That's the biggest problem. Usually, you have a New Zealand tour before the IPL, so every time India loses in New Zealand, that is forgotten. This time, I suppose the same could be true if India doesn't win in Champions Trophy. The failures in the one-day format could be forgotten, because there will be a long gestation period. So, in that sense, I think the biggest change in Indian cricket might happen, especially in the Test match format, can happen after the England tour. But in the one-day format, maybe a bit later, say when India goes to Bangladesh. But even then, that's a false alarm, because you may still have the seniors resting for that particular tour because it's Bangladesh. It's all a state of flux right now in Indian cricket, and nothing is going to move forward till somebody takes a firm stance, because both sides, the senior players and the coach, are in a difficult position right now. They need some kind of a win, either side, to be able to force the other one out of the picture.
Right. That's a very interesting take. And I kind of disagree with the test thing, but I hope that happens before the England series. But again, everything goes into limbo when the season ends and the IPL comes around. So we don't really know what's going to happen. We've seen people picked for the test squad on the basis of IPL. So a good IPL means that we might have a continuation from the Australia tour. So yeah, but let's see when that happens. But at some point in 2025, वो होना है वो होना है. The transition is just here for Indian cricket, and it's coming. Well, that was our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Nitin Nayak, Chandresh Narayan, Saurabh Somani, Dopayan Datta, all our viewers. Thanks for your comments, and thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel, and do share and like our video if you liked our show. Tomorrow we'll be back at 6:30, and we'll be talking more about Indian cricket. Until then, it's goodbye.